KHOU 11 News at 6 starts now.
Happening now, homes surrounded, roads submerged, and lives remain in limbo. Epic flooding continues in southeast Texas, and more rain tonight could make it worse. Thanks for joining us at 6. I'm Marcelino Benito. Tonight, both the west and east forks of the San Jacinto River have crested, and while that is some positive news, there is still significant flooding underway right now. And at least for Harris County, all evacuation orders do remain in place. New video from Air 11 shows the devastation in northeast Harris County. This is how it looks in the Rio Villa area of Highlands. You see structures and vehicles there are underwater. This area was under voluntary evacuation orders yesterday. The Harris County judge says it's now been cut off. No one can get in or out. And it's more of the same in the Magnolia Point neighborhood in Huffman. Several homes either surrounded by water or partially submerged. And check out the scene at the Westlake Houston Parkway Bridge between Kingwood and Atascocita. Officials there have shut this roadway down, the water making it impassable. Neighborhoods near the bridge are also starting to flood. We have live team coverage beginning with Stephen Goen near the San Jacinto River and Interstate 10. Stephen.
Marcelino, the floodwaters are still clearly very high where we are along the San Jacinto River. In fact, they've risen a bit since this morning. Search crews with the Harris County Sheriff's Office were here in these communities back here along I-10 just east of Channelview, rescuing people all day. They told us about more than 24 people were rescued from their flooded homes. Take a look at what these current conditions are like that we're seeing along I-10. You can see this is a section of the San Jac River that runs just right underneath I-10. You can see that water is moving quickly and it's several feet higher than normal, flooding a lot of different communities below Lake Houston. Rescues have been taking place all day and they're still actively happening. Search crews using boats to get out to these impacted areas. This is video we obtained from the Harris County Sheriff's Office. Search crews were out here since the morning. We're told 22 adults, 6 children, and 18 animals were rescued from different neighborhoods along River Road near I-10. The Sheriff's Office telling us they still want people to heed the warnings to evacuate if they can.
It's not over because even if it doesn't rain, all that water north of us coming from Lake Livingston, coming from Lake Conroe, and Lake Houston, it's all going to make its way down to where we are now. So the worst is still yet to come.
Now, for several hours today, the Sheriff's Office told us they were actually looking for a man who intentionally went into the water with some sort of flotation device. Of course, they say that is not recommended because the conditions in the water are very dangerous. Marcelino.
Stephen Goen, thanks so much for that live report. And about 30 miles north of where Stephen is in Kingwood, residents are continuing to keep a close eye on the San Jacinto River. Water is getting close to some homes. Anayeli Ruiz is live on Kingwood Greens Drive. Anayeli.
Hey, Marcelino, we're actually not far from that bridge you were talking about that joins Atascocita and here at Kingwood. And I want to show you guys behind me. You can see the roads are being blocked off by police. Actually, officers are not even allowing people to walk through here as a safety precaution. As you can see, there's a current that's moving and they're trying to prevent anyone from having any kind of injuries through here. We actually met a couple not long ago, and I want to show you guys, this is a golf course right next to me, and these homes are surrounded by water. A lot of the people who live there, you know, they're either stuck or their family members are trying to bring them food. And I want to show you guys, see if Mr. Barnes can point the camera this way. You can see people are actually going through the T-heads trying to get to their loved ones, bringing them food or water or snacks or whatever they might need to survive. Again, these families don't know how long they'll be here. And oh, one more second, Mr. Barnes, it looks like a truck is going to try to drive through this water, and there's actually an HPD officer here on the corner preventing this from happening. Again, they don't want to be out here rescuing people. They want to prevent people from driving through this, and we're just going to stay through this to see. There is a little point, he said, where the road, there it goes, is a little bit deeper, but it looks like this guy might make it. But again, something we don't recommend. As you can see, the current is pretty high. It is moving, and it looks like he made it safely. But it'll be interesting to see is that there is an HPD officer here that is trying to stop people from doing this exact thing out here. Again, they're not even letting people walk through here because there is a current that's moving fairly quickly here. And by the way, we want to note that HEB here, just a mile away, actually closed down for the day. They said they did this out of precaution for their customers and of course also their employees. But we're going to continue to follow this and bring you guys the very latest. We'll send it back to you in the studio.
Glad that driver made it on Ayeli, but definitely something we do not want to see. Thanks so much for that live report. Harris County Judge Lena Hidalgo toured some of the flooded areas of Harris County today. She's grateful there was no rain today, but wants to make sure the public knows the threat is not over.
By no means is the emergency over because we still have rain coming tonight, overnight into the morning. We believe and we hope that's not going to be very significant, but we've been surprised so much lately.
Let's turn now to meteorologist Pat Kavlin for more on that rain expected tonight. Pat, more rain could be a serious problem for a lot of folks.
Yeah, we are talking about significant rainfall, especially as we get into the day tomorrow. So flash flood watch in effect for all the areas in green. This is where we could see rainfall rates of 1, 2, or even 3 inches per hour on average, especially as we get into the day on Sunday. That is going to quickly add up to widespread totals of 2 to 4 inches. But look at this. We could see another day with localized totals closing in on 1 foot of rainfall on top of an already very saturated ground. Thankfully, today was dry, but we are going to see showers and storms fill in here through the overnight. All the activity still to the west right now. Here's a look at the flash flood outlook as we get into tomorrow. And notice they have now elevated the risk area to a level 3 out of 4, a moderate risk. Again, 4 is the highest. And let's get you in for a closer look because notice this now. The city of Houston, for the first time through this entire event that we've been going through off and on for the entire week, the city of Houston now included in this flash flooding risk. This is important because we haven't seen it this far south yet. So far, it's been pretty far removed to the north. They have pulled this risk a little farther to the south. So here are the neighborhoods that need to keep a very close eye on the flooding potential as we get to tomorrow. We're talking about the Energy Corridor, the Addicts area out towards the reservoirs, the Galleria getting along Rice Military here through Montrose, River Oaks, Westview, down towards Asiatown, Meyerland, out towards Braze and Braze Bayou, an area that typically floods a lot during heavy rain events. And then farther north, Acres Home, East Houston, the Aldine area, Fairbanks, Spring Branch, out towards the Heights, and then getting out towards the east side of town, Jacinto City, Park Place, Galena Park, and East Houston. These are areas that may see some flash flooding as we get to tomorrow. That's not just river flooding. So here's the timing on this. 11:30 tonight, we can see heavy rain across areas that were dealing with flooding earlier in the week. The main event, though, doesn't arrive until 4, 5, 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. And then watch this. By 8 a.m., the worst of it over the city, but it continues here for hours off and on, training downpours and thunderstorms all the way through tomorrow evening. By the time it's all said and done, we could see several areas with rain totals over a half a foot. And again, the flash flooding concern most likely here from the city and points north going out towards the east side of the city. The good news, Marcelino, is that we do trend drier into the upcoming week. All eyes, though, on tomorrow. A more detailed breakdown on this and the river levels coming up when I see it for the full forecast again in about 10 minutes.
All right, thanks, Pat. We'll see you in a bit. And a reminder, a number of shelters remain open to help folks displaced by the flooding. You'll find a full list at KHOU.com.